Welcome back, my friends, to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, playing on the Hermitcraft for the 100th live stream this season. Live stream number 100. How cool is that? And I have not had time to prepare, but I know exactly what we need to do in this stream. What's kind of awkward is that I need a lot of glowberries. Oh, I need a lot of glowberries. I got a farm though, you know, we designed that last stream, and now it's here on the server. By the way, May School, Lucaro, Bear, Forgil, Winnie T Ford, thank you so much for the bananas in the chat letting me know that we are live. That is good to see. And we've got lots of other peeps tuning in and saying hello too, so welcome everyone. Don't actually need that, I kind of just need myself. Now, I did farm at least a few. See, I've only got 4 there. Where did they end up? Like, I must have put them somewhere. Probably put them in a box that's been sorted away. Let's go ahead, get some bone meal. Gotta chuck it in this space up here. Wow, the music sounds a little bit on the loud side to me. I've got a feeling it might be a little bit loud for all of y'all too. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit better. Happy 100th birthday, says Astro Kiddies. No, it's not my birthday, and I'm not 100. Yeah, this is all I got to do, right? But now, every time I want to play some of these, I've got to say, if I had just thought about this, I could have AFK'd. Then again, I've just had one of those days where I haven't even had a moment to think about what's coming up. It's just been loads of little odd jobs, you know? This thing, that thing, ring up those people, sort that appointment out. Take care of this thing. Oh, there's a problem with that. Bear818, thank you so much for 18 months to support the Arctic Viking. Here for 50 months. Hi, XAU. I'm great. Thanks for asking. I'm just one thing after another, you know, just getting through the day. Harvey Gooch, thank you for the Prime. Muewer, whose name I probably always butcher. Thank you for 5 months. And yeah, glad you're here for the stream. We got Cactu PNG for 6 months. Time short as fly. Oh yes, it does. And 4Gil96 for 35. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This doesn't feel as fast to me as when we goofed around with it in the test world. Like, am I doing something slightly off? Papa K in the Higgity His house. TCG win for X's 100th birthday. I doubt I will play any TCG today. That was not part of my plan. I think I'm going up the Glowberry vine, right? Because you can climb that. So every now and then we need to pop in there and do that. Okay, that's just going to be a part of the stream today. It's going to be like that awkward little moment where we're like, bobbing up and down, bobbing up and down. Now we want to get these glowberry vines hanging down from the ceiling and making this place look super interesting. By the way, honest feedback. How does it look right now? How does it look so far? The atmosphere, the feeling of it. I know it needs a little more on the ceiling, I can tell that. But what do y'all think? I need to know. Angely Queeze with the Prime. Probably butchered another name, haven't I? Thank you for using your Amazon Prime subscription on me, peeps. If you did not know, here on Twitch you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe to someone. You get 1 a month. I'm liking it, says Astashi. Looks great, says Ashley. Large but cozy somehow, says Rose. It is a little bit cozy, isn't it? It has a vibe, I just don't know what the vibe is, says Bear. I think the vibe will make more sense when we open up some space back there and you can like go through it. Bit of detail on the sandstone, says Lil Spagbowl. That will come, yes. I don't want to leave them just like they are. This is like our, you know, we're putting down the shape so that we know the idea will work. Yeah, the idea will definitely work. Very cozy yet spooky. Okay, well, let's get started on what we're doing next, which is to get ourselves up here. We're going to need to take advantage of dynamic lighting again, because I need to see where I'm placing this stuff, right? Now, what I realized is that this is a pain. Like, in order to grow this stuff, you can't grow it with bone meal. You have to place it, unless you want glowberries popping up, which we do in select places. And as you can see, I place a few, and then it's like... So, lucky for me, what I can do is use this from time to time. Yeah, seems like... Oh yeah, they give off light too, so we don't need the torch in our offhand. We got Michael Stickle here for 75 months and Evil-X in the chat. And we've also got some gifted subs coming through from Anna T. Thank you so much for gifting the subs, supporting our community. If you hear your name being read out loud. Fabian Lincoln, Atlicus, Riley, Mystic Archer, and Astro Kiddies, y'all be gifted the subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. In the chat, Crazy Sweetheart says, well, that was a short video. Do you mean the one on my channel? You know, if I didn't need to live stream right now, because what we're doing, I couldn't do without all of you. If you've ever watched a Hermitcraft episode and thought, how do they do it? How do they grind this stuff out? Peeps, I'll let you in on little secrets, because of you. Right? Placing all of these glowberries across the room is not going to be pleasant. I needed to do this with some company. So I was just at a point where it's like, streaming right now makes so much sense. Because then I can like crack on and do all this other stuff. So you are helping me with this project big time. Just by being here. That's how I'm getting this done. So yeah, I looked at the pre-release and I thought I could cover that. But I also want to do this little thing tomorrow. And I don't want to spam people with videos. So I just decided I'll let people know it's out. And that I'll be covering it tomorrow. And then I'll remind them of the announcement. And that seemed pretty reasonable to me. Oh, one fell down. One fell down. Let's get a little jumps. A little bit of a jump going on. A couple of these bits over here. Can I put them just on the... No, I can't put them on the bottom of the bush. Right. Interesting. Good to know. So where these start and end is a thing, right? Like, I want some to hang down more than others, obviously, but we don't want a crazy amount hanging down all over the place. God, this is actually a bit of work to do. I knew it would be. I knew this would be a bit of work to do. So yeah, just gotta do this over and over and over again. Keep falling down, breaking your shins. Where is this build, says Surefire Tannis? It's in my base. It's part of my base. It's the newest room in the base. Vamp Stay, thank you so much for 4 months. 4 months on the 100th stream. Yes, stream 100. Played Heart, here for 9 months. Thanks for the hard work in the videos. I enjoy every last one of them. Thank you so much. Tanker Out, here for 10. Love every stream, X. Thanks for the content. Quality is appreciated. So many nice messages. Thank you so much. By the way, I got a hot cup of tea. 8 minutes in. Perfect time to start drinking, right? Wait a minute, did one of those vines just grow? Did one just grow behind me? Oh, God. They grow, don't they? Do they grow? I thought they generated. Do they grow naturally? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why? That might change the way in which we put all of this stuff together, right? Like, that might require some strategy changing. I don't think they generate glowberries when they grow, right? I seem to remember doing an experiment about that. This might help me, though, because if I just start like this and get them all in place and let them grow naturally, then I can take an approach of, like, culling, which might work out, like, a lot better in the long run. So let's turn, like, a negative into a positive. And again, we need to look. Is that the right atmosphere? Feel like it is. I feel like the way in which you just about see where they start means we're probably going to have to put like a few more coming back this way. Seems like too many, says Surefire Tannis. You could try putting Glylocan on the roof in between the leaves of eye. Oh, no. We don't want light sources up there. I just pointed out the problem with that. Like, you can see where they start. Kind of like right now, like the atmosphere is like the darkness. It's mysterious, but yeah, where light gets up there. So, for example, how do I do this? I think I always have to use bone meal, right, to make it a a glowberry. Put some more in here so it can restock. Like, if I do... Like, watch how much this is going to change everything now. Because there's a light... Oh, now it don't look so good, right? They're going to have to come down real low for me to actually attach a light source. I'm not sure these look as good as I thought they would do. Like, once you add that, you really change... Because you see it just hang off the mud on the ceiling, and the ceiling's completely flat. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think these are going to have to stay off. Maybe we should mix some leaves up there too then, as a result. Plans are changing. We experiment, we figure out what works, what looks good, all that kind of stuff, right? Carry a slug. Oh wait, we read that one. Oh, did I? No, I didn't. Carry a slug. 10 months. Congrats on the 100th stream. Love to watch it. Glad to have you with us. DT Ninik for 2 months. Thank you for another 100th. Congratulations. And we have, I'm going to say Philip DD7HD. Thank you for using the Prime subscription. Welcome, welcome. Okay, yeah, so changing up the hotbar again. Going to try a couple more things here. Leaves and bushes will look really good. Maybe some moss too. The moss I'm not so sure about because we're placing these where the darkness is. Saves on IR berry resources. It does a little bit, maybe, if we use other materials here too. Now I'm going to need to get this on there so we can plop these around again. Oh, it gets so awkward to place them, right? Like, this is the beginning bit, so we'll have a few, like, passes, and we'll figure stuff out, but... I do not know quite how this is going to turn out anymore. We are, like, way off the plan. I thought it would be really simple, just putting down loads of these, occasionally having glowberries. I think you're going to need one to come down, like, very low before you put a glowberry on it. So, like, imagine this one comes down... Like even further than that. They naturally grow with oh, I knew it. I knew it! No, I didn't. I thought I did a test on that. I remember doing a test in, like, Season 8, right at the beginning, when they first added. So, we have to stop them growing with shears. You see, and that's too bright a light source, I think. Maybe that one on its own just there. I just don't know. I want to knock all of this out of the way. Perhaps what I should have done is, like, mocked more of this up in creative, you know. But I think it's going in the right direction. We'll go ahead and zip that out of there. Or I could opt to keep it plain, or maybe just not use as much of this stuff. What do y'all think, chat? What way are you leaning in? If this were your base, would you be thinking, yeah, we gotta keep putting down those glowberries, or is it like, actually, I think maybe not having as many looks alright? So yeah, we're like spacing them out a little more sparse back here. And we'll let them grow naturally too. Less deep but longer, and I think the leaf blocks help. I don't know what less deep means. I'd use a bit less and mix in more leaves. Okay, less is more even. Yeah, sometimes less is more. Well, I will continue to place them nonetheless. Leaves. We want to put a few leaves. Like, let's put a couple little clusters back here. Yeah, and now we've got the issue of the glowberries are just going to pop up until I shear every last one of these. Oh, gosh. Do I want to abandon this idea? Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll leave that as is. Because these glowberries, they've definitely got something to them, the way they hang down. Over on this side, let's go for something way more sparse. Let's try and tell a different story on this side and see how we like it. So what I'm thinking is... Can you plant the berries on leaves, says Michael Stickle. We tried that. Unfortunately, you can't. Let's say we come over here and just look at this small area. Alright, we're not going to do too much with it. Maybe a little bit of leafage here. One or two of those. And then, I don't know. I want to make it sparse. Okay, and then somewhere here, just one long one, maybe, that hangs down on its own. Like, how far is that down? Yeah, definitely needs, like, not just one, but a couple. So I'm going to put a couple more bits over here. And then let's say this one comes down a ways too. Oh, that's so much better, and there's not a lot to it. Let's try bringing it across here without adding too much noise up there. Also, it doesn't help that, like, the sun has just decided to, like, shine in across the monitor, which really affects looking at the darkness on it. Let's see if I can adjust that. There's like this little gap at the edge of my blinds, and it always comes through and hits the other monitor, and it's really hard to block it, and it really affects the sort of darkness and all of that. Burt Potato, thank you ever so much for 26 months. Also, Null Void Face is here for 2. And Fishboy274 with that Amazon Prime subscription. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tremendous support, peeps. Appreciate it. Oh, scaffolding. There are some things in this game that, you know, creative mode is just, like, so much easier to work with. Let's not go... Try not to get them in a particularly straight line. Hey, it's my birthday tomorrow. Will you be streaming? I won't, but happy birthday. In advance, you know. The pain of scaffolding, says Null Voidface. Yeah, I think what we're experiencing right now would be a pain with or without scaffolding. It's just one of those things. Like, sometimes climbing up and climbing back down again is a pain. Okay, so we need to step back again. Yeah, you really need to go for, like, much less overall, I think. And then here on this corner, I think having them, like, dangle down quite a ways might be interesting. How do you feel about the new enchantment glint? Do you plan on going back to vanilla or stick with the enchantment glint from VT? I think I'll embrace the current enchantment glint and the current change for a bit. It seems fine to me. Makes a lot of sense. I like the way they're sort of looking at many aspects of the game and just kind of like sort of rethinking and improving a lot of stuff. I think it's good. Dang, can't stop falling off. Need to perhaps rethink how I'm using it a little bit, you know. Build out a bit more of a fallback like this. So somewhere here I feel like we need like a longer-ish one. Maybe a couple more bushes just there. And then somewhere, I don't know, I want something long hanging down, I'm just not sure where. Maybe that one. Like, this one's going to come down quite a ways. Oh, there's a hole. So yeah, that ain't gonna work for me, but this I can do that. That's like on the lighter side. Now what we've got to do, right, is get some shears and like snippet everything, which is just crazy. So into the toolbar. I do have some unbreakable shears, but I always just end up using some disposable ones. You know? Otherwise I've got to go... Actually, no. Let's use those shears. Okay? Where are they? I didn't get them out, did I? There we go. Let's use them. Efficiency 5. Unbreaking 3. Why not? Why not, eh? I felt the current pre-update enchantment glint was too powerful, so I'm glad they made it so you can customize it, says Cute Pyro. Yeah, it was on the strong side, wasn't it? And it messed with certain visuals and stuff. Snowy Leah 48, thank you so much for 3 months of support. Appreciate ya. Amchurd is here for 13. Congrats on 100 streams, X. Just love listening to you articulate your views on things in a well thought out manner. Also, my cat recently passed away. Can I get some love for my boy Silas? Hopefully I said that right. So sorry to hear your cat passed, my dude. So sorry to hear that. Let's get some love for the kitty cats in the chat. Specifically, Silas, if I'm saying that correctly. Do you think any new features will be told in Minecraft Live tomorrow? Minecraft Live isn't happening tomorrow. There's just like a tweet announcement. Is it me or did that grow down like longer and quick? Hang on. Let's check with F3 that we're doing this. Age 20. Yeah. Oh my god, they do actually grow quick, don't they? Yeah. So you're age 25ing it. I see. Well, we got to move quick then. Shears is now part of the equation. I feel like in this game they add solutions for stuff that sometimes I'm like, I know it's like it's involved, it's in the world, it's Minecrafty, right? You know, you're using things already in the game and stuff, but like, think about how this plays out in survival. I don't know, climbing up here to do this over and over again for every vibe. Like, it's not a speedy way of doing things, that's for sure, is it? I think I can just, I don't have to click on the underside, I just click at that. And it makes it age 25. Now, the one above doesn't have an age, so when you right click it, nothing happens. Okay. Just kind of curious if it had that tag for a second there. Well, I wanted to just put maybe like 1 or 2 extra. Oh, there's a few in the corner as it goes. Dang it. Let's try this. Yeah, so that means we kind of done everything up to there. This is certainly the way to do it. This means we'll be getting this done today, which is what I needed to do. Enderstir, thank you for 5 months. Ryan R.D. Bloomfield Photolic, thank you for 14 months. Crazy username. I do hope we get more ancient seeds than just the torch flower, says Red Brumbler. You know, I do too, but do they have to do it all in one update? I think is the question, because we have seen things that sort of are getting just done slowly bit by bit across multiple updates. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I thought I'd just ask the question, you know, does it have to be that way? Personally, I think it's a good idea to roll out features that sort of tell you at least where they're going, right? Because if you start doing the torch seed stuff bit by bit, I mean, either you create an expectation of like, oh yeah, there'll be another torch seed every update. Well, sorry, ancient seed, right? Then fair enough. But like, doing things in little bits, there's something I've noticed about the Minecraft community, and especially in my comments, is that people like to make big statements about Moyang. Like, you know, the problem with Moyang, or this thing here, like, architecture comes out, archaeology even, and straight away I can find some big comments about how, you know, this isn't even yada 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 or whatever. And it's like, hang on a minute. We've only just seen the beginning of this. Like, it isn't finished yet. I think the sniffer would have been a better example, because it was announced to be coming out in stages, right? Like, you get the sniffer and then you get the breeding functionality later, which, by the way, we still haven't seen. And there's these statements in these comments, Moyang of yada 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 on the sniffer, and I'm thinking, but we haven't seen it all yet, right? And we actually know we haven't seen it all. So I think it's just important for them to introduce things in a way where the majority of the audience kind of like understands what the status of it is. I think that's what's important to achieve. So like, the audience doesn't understand. Oh, is that it? Is that all we're getting? That's what they need to know. The audience needs to know where we're at with it. Are we going to get more? Is this it? There's actually just one ancient seed and you've seen it. Remember, we did have that leak as well, so it's quite likely that there is indeed more coming our way, I think. That's what they need to do. The internet loves their hot takes, says Music Free Gaming. They certainly do. I'm not a fan of hot takes. I'm a fan of sort of thinking things through and getting like a big picture on something. Getting the details. Understanding the complexities of things. You know, there's a lot of oversimplification in this community. Especially with the development of the game, which is often spouted by a lot of people that don't do game development themselves. Why can't Moyang just, you know, add all this stuff like this mod did? It's like, well, you know, a mod comes along and it appears. And how does it appear? Right? Remember, right? We've got like a team of people. You know, how can I describe this? Like, look at all of these items in this chest, okay? Here's our team of people at Moyang. You know, they're those little gold nuggets. The rest of the audience is like, wow, seas of other blocks. Hundreds and hundreds of other people. And modding allows you to go in and put content on top of the game. You don't have to support the game. You don't have to develop your content into the game and make it work with everything else. You're not held to a high standard. You don't have to coordinate with marketing teams and develop for multiple platforms. You know, Bedrock, consoles, Java, to name a few. Your content doesn't have to be a part of a plan. It doesn't need to fit into the game necessarily. It's just a completely different standard for modding. And so, you know, when Moyang adds stuff to the game, it's added so that it can be in the game for a long time. That it's a proper part of the game, not just some mod that you can throw on and play with for a little bit. They're very different things, modded and the actual development of the game. And the constant comparison between the two is rather, I think, unenlightened and unhelpful. We need to understand that these things are different and just treat them that way, yeah? Because it creates these like sort of unhelpful atmospheres when like Moyang get mocked because, oh, the community can do this, and it's like, no, the community's not doing the active development of the game. They're creating mods that sit on top of the game. They're not properly supported. They're not designed for the longevity of the game. They're just mods. Gosh, program is so much work. You can't just add stuff willy-nilly. You have to test things extensively and make sure things work together. Yes, you do. Yes, you absolutely do. And as someone who has thumbed through many bug reports over the years, a common thing you see is like, oh look, they added that, and then there's all these other things that actually interacts with in the game, and you know, haven't considered some of them, and so you get these bugs of like, this new thing, when it interacts with this very old thing, something weird happens. You know, in modded, it's just like, it's just accepted. Oh, you're playing a mod pack, like, expect it to crash. Expect for some weirdness. Different standards, really. I think what I'll do... let's okay, we'll dismount the scaffolding. People expect updates to be big and mechanized changing, like 1.13 and 1.18, and get mad that Moyang makes normal size updates again, says Athenian Wizard. Yes, and while people are angry about that, you can find people who are angry that there are big updates, and why can't they just make small and simple stuff? Like, it's the old vocal minority problem, which is simply that your opinion can be that of a minority opinion, yet you can be loud and vocal on the internet. So it creates like this unbalanced image. So if you go looking for negativity around Minecraft updates, you'll find all of it. You'll find all sorts of criticisms. Again, I've just been exposed to this because I make videos about it. I read my comments and I'm like, wow, people have some, you know, crazy assertions about all of this stuff. And I see quite an extreme response a lot of the time, you know. Could you use hanging roots between the vines? Absolutely, but I don't have a lot of hanging roots. That's a nice suggestion, though. I think what I'm going to basically do here is just rip out everything we did at the beginning. I mean, maybe not everything, but like, kind of have a bit of a start again attitude, I think. Very fitting and a Xisuma stream when I'm going to make curry, says Black Rots. Ooh. Curry, eh? I do like a curry. I have curries quite a lot because I do homemade cooking, and like a lot of stuff I like has a sauce, and it's like a curry sauce basically. The floor is looking fantastic, by the way, says Banasau. Oh, thank you, thank you. Good to know. Peeps, if you're enjoying the stream today, be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch. Got to remember to say that from time to time, right? Got to be a pro streamer. Telling you to follow. You know, good things happen if you follow. You find out when I'm live. I'm going to stream some Hermitcraft TCG next. That's my plan, at least. Things don't always go to plan, remember that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm gunning for. I want to do a little bit of playing against all of y'all on our node, on our Xisumaverse node. I had this idea. I'm going to mention it to the Hermits, right? Because I know others are keen to host these servers too. That maybe, but like for those of us that are going to host our own little TCG arenas, like we could try and sort of network them a bit and give them flavor. So like each one can have custom rules, and then maybe it gets a name. So it's like you can go play in a different arena, right? Like maybe they're just named after us, you know, Beefs, Xisuma's TCG variant, whatever, or we give it names, and yeah, and it can be like. I'm trying to think of some Pokemon name stuff, right? But it was like Red and Blue Edition, or... Chat, hit me up with some Pokemon arena names or something. I feel like someone's going to know what I'm getting at. And give me the answer I'm looking for. Because, you know, chat is smarter than I am. Okay, I like that one there and this one here. And a few too many around this spot. It is really just probably a lot easier to start again with this stuff. Okay, so gyms, right. Cerulean Gym, there we go. Redstone Arena. I think gyms is what I was thinking of, right? Give me some gym names, chat. Now, I think we're on the right track with that one. Yeah, I've just got a few too many around here at the moment, haven't I? Wow, am I really out of scaffolding? Let's go knock all this down. Lapis Legacy, I like that. Colosseum. Arena type. Cerulean Gym, Vermilion, Caladian Gym. Yes, okay, right, so you were definitely onto what I was thinking. But now we can use, I think we can use Minecraft stuff, right? Like Lapis, Redstone, Emerald. So yeah, like maybe my flavor is Obsidian. Come play in the Obsidian arena, right? And so each one has custom rules, like something unique about it. I don't know what I'm going to do with mine, but I've definitely had some ideas for tweaks and changes that I think would make what the current rule set are a little more interesting. I kind of want to go for something where the game feels different, like it offers a different challenge as opposed to being sort of like a light variant. So anyway, there could just be a bunch of different like hermit setups for this, right? And so you can jump from like one to the other and play all these different variations of it. Does that sound cool? Or am I just getting a little lost in my ideas here? Is that actually working? I think the click of the shears has priority, so that should work. Let's try again. Yeah, it clicks first, then it places a torch, so that way you know it's done. Okay. Right, I don't think there's one behind that. Yeah, so now we're trying to do this thing over here, I reckon. Too many there. That might just be it. I feel like I've sheared the last one, right? Hang on, this one couldn't have been sheared because it just grew. Unless if they can grow when they're sheared, I'm going to be disappointed. Ha, right. Whatever was lit up there has fallen down. That's good. Right, okay. We might just be done with this, believe it or not. I thought we were going to place a lot of those things, but no. Yeah, I can see a bit over here that don't look right to me, so I'm going to modify that. But turns out that did not look quite like I thought it would. Unfortunately, it brings, I think, a little too much attention to the flatness of this roof here. But that was what I needed to take care of, really. Just getting some glowberry vines in here. What do you think, chat? Have we added to the atmosphere or taken away from it? I'm not entirely sure. I need your opinion. Maybe the roof should not be flat, says Red Blumber. It would be too much for me at this point. I wouldn't know where to go with it. I cannot actually see the ceiling, says the Cosmonaut. That's probably a compression thing. Like, I can, but yeah, a compression probably helps me here. Peeps like it. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. That's given me some confidence. That actually kind of means this room is done. Oh, with the exception of the sandstone pillars here. Maybe we could work on that. I did want to put some designs and stuff in them, but I kind of feel a bit of a waffle coming on. Like I'm in a waffly mood. So maybe we could do a little bit of digging. And that bone meal can go over here. My leftover glowberries can go in there. Look at me, Mr. Organisation. Are these all empty? They're just empty. Playing that organisational game. Because basically that's what Minecraft is. On one level, organise your items. The game. Hashtag the game. Honestly, the changes to allow mobs spawning at light level 0 was a godsend. It allows for much more atmospheric builds that don't require light everywhere. It really was. One of the best changes in such an incredibly... Like, the change is so massive and so simple. It's like, it's literally changing a number in a line of code, and then all of a sudden, so much more is possible in this game. Maybe the decks could be based on who the game master is. So like Doc's Gym could be whatever type his card. Then the deck will have his card type and another will be super effective, the weakness of the main item cards. What I'm thinking is that whoever's place it is, they have ways to change the game. If that's their strategy to change the game, they can do that. But I don't think it should be like conceptualized that each person has to follow a set of rules, right? What I'm getting at is like maybe when you come and play mine, you can only put 3 hermits on the board at once, right? Or maybe I have some different cards that are available, or different rules on rares, and or maybe even more cards are allowed in your overall deck. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm getting at. You can have a variety of variations on the main game at different places. I'm more of the idea arena giving specific items for winners. So that could be a flavour. Like, if you play on my server, it could be that when you knock out another hermit, you get a golden apple card, right? Then you might not be putting the golden apple into your deck. You might start thinking about how you play a little different. Right, I'm going to dig out a little bit of this so that we can sort of see the sandstone pillar perhaps wrap out into a new area. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in that new area yet, but we're just kind of having fun following a rough idea. So as I do that, give me something to talk about, chat. What's on your mind? What's happening? What's going on? Let's have a little bit of a waffle. I do like to waffle from time to time. So let me know what you want to know, and we'll have a chat. First of all, a couple of measurements. Like, these are 5, these pillars. 5, yeah. So what we'll do on both sides is we'll extend this way in 2 blocks, right? So it'll come to here, and then it needs to go 1, 2, say 3 that way, and then we'll probably have some coal blocks again, and then we'll go back like that. So I'm going to bring that all the way over to the other side. Okay, and again, it's like 2 blocks back off of that one. Cool, and now we've got to dig it all the way up to the top, which is just there. Wow, not very far at all. Should be nice and easy to throw together then. Black Steel is here for 20 months. 20 months, let's go. Thank you so much for your support, dude. Greatly appreciate it. Have you watched any movies recently, says Soundwave Hope? I have not. I've been watching Game of Thrones again. I just decided, I know it ends terribly, but I'm just going to enjoy it again. And oh my goodness me, like, there's quite a bunch, like, a lot of stuff that I've totally forgotten about. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm enjoying some of the great stuff you remember, and just seeing some stuff where I like, it's not like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like, actually, I almost can't remember these scenes at all. So yeah, I've been enjoying watching some of that. I watch when if I'm on the treadmill exercising, if I'm eating after I've cooked, and that's kind of it, right? And then as of late, sometimes at the end of the day, I just like to like zonk out a little, watch an episode or half of one with like a hot cup of chocolate or whatever. I've also been playing Baba Is You and absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, and I'm going to enjoy it for myself. I had this weird moment where I immediately, like 4 levels in, I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this. I should stream it and share it with everyone. And then I was like, okay, but I'm also like enjoying it for myself. And I realized, like, what I'm going to do is do that. I'm going to enjoy it for myself. I'm going to take this experience and just let it be my own. I think I need a little bit of that, because as a creator, I'm just so used to things that I'm interested in having to become content in a way. And I'm not complaining about streaming. It's always a pleasure to play games with all of you. But this time I just wanted to try doing the different thing, and I think it's a good idea. I like, every now and then my brain's a little stuck. I just kind of pick up the controller and play Baba for a little bit, and you know, there's a problem in front of me, and sometimes I'm stuck on it for a while, sometimes I figure it out. The other day I kind of like tried one before I was going to bed. I was like, I had a little, you know, 10-minute session or whatever. I was totally stuck on this puzzle. How does that work? Oh, I can't figure this out. And then in the morning, like, as soon as I woke up, it was like my brain had figured it out for me while I was sleeping. I was just like, oh, that's clever. And then I went and did it. So it's really nice to just, yeah, have those sort of experiences and not it just be for content and stuff. So pretty glad I decided to do that. Any new music recommendations, says Astro Kitties? I mean, you can always check my music blog. The stuff I would recommend right now is I haven't written about yet. I've been listening to Suicide Boys a lot and really, really enjoying their sound, and kind of want to get into it a bit deep. So I've been like listening to this record like quite a lot, and at some point I'll write about that. There's a few other little things that will end up on the blog here and there, but nothing massive at the moment, I'd say. And next couple of weeks, lots of records coming out. Periphery's one of them, and then on my list I've got like, I don't know, another 5 that come out over the next couple of weeks, so lots of music going on. Did you hear about an explosion on the sun? In some countries, they could be seen as northern lights. I did not hear about that. I've disconnected myself from the news. I'm really happy that I've done that. I saw my mother yesterday, and it was like, oh, have you heard about this terrible thing? And I'm like, nope, don't tell me about it. And then she goes, oh, it's really bad though, because this guy's, I'm like, nope, don't want to know. And you know, oh, did you hear this couple went missing? And I'm like, there's always something negative in this world. There's so many people, there's so many countries and places. Like, if you wanna find a bad story that isn't related to you, you're gonna have no problem finding them. I got no energy for it anymore. Like, I can't just, you know, you hear it on the news, maybe on the radio, talking about some horrible thing that's happened. I'm like, this isn't actually related to me. Like, when something genuinely bad happens to you, like directly related to you, you're probably going to know about it. Otherwise, it's just stuff that happens, right? And there's no shortage of it. There's no shortage of it. If you wanted to cover like every crime and hear about every horrible thing that's happened in the world, you couldn't cover it all in one day. It's a very big place, and I'm just disconnected from it, and feeling mentally so much better when I focus on my immediate surrounding. CEO of Antifa says ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't call it ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't call it that. I'm not... I don't know, I'm not trying to be, like, ignorant to the fact that bad things happen in the world. I've just noticed how, like, ask yourself, right, if you think it's important to know, oh, there's been a murder, or this terrible thing happened in your country, etc., etc. Sometimes they happen with people that you do need to perhaps know about, maybe political leaders or things related to bigger picture stuff. A lot of crime, though, is much more, I don't know, person-to-person related than big picture, let's say. Where am I going again? I remember where I'm going. I added a little something over here. Got to get used to it. What I'm getting at is that if you think you really need to know about, like, this thing that the news is currently covering about some horrible murder or whatever, like, it's not just like an isolated thing you're hearing about. Like, crime happens all over the world. It's an unfortunate part of, you know, us and being alive and all that stuff. If you think it's that important, go look at the news in every single country. Like, you can, there's no shortage of this stuff that you can find that's happening in the world. And so, for me, it's like, you know, if I don't pay attention to it being covered and reported, then I realise that none of it really, like, is directly related to me. And when it is related to me and it is something that's important to me, I'll probably know about it because it'll be in your, like, immediate vicinity, so to speak. That's my thinking on it. I don't know, maybe I'm not 100% right. Your thinking is at its best letting things go that don't serve your best interests, says Karen Davis. That's a really nice way of putting it. That's how I feel about it. It does not serve my interests. And I'm not trying to downplay these things as if they're not important. Like if you're a police officer, or you're in the legal system or law, or like it's something that happened nearby you, then it's related to you and it becomes relevant. It becomes something that you deal with. If it's your job or if it happened in your community, you know? It's not like putting the head in the sand, that didn't happen. It's like, if those things happened right next to me, then it would become relevant to me, and I would have feelings about it and have to act on it. But the news can just reach into so many places in the world and tell you about the horrors, and maybe not tell you about all the good things that go on. So for me, it's like, I don't see how this serves my best interests. I once didn't pay much attention to the news and somehow managed to miss the Russia-Ukraine war, says Shear Angel. I followed that a lot in the beginning, and I don't follow it pretty much at all anymore. And again, it's a terrible thing. I'm not trying to say, oh, I don't care or anything like that, but it's just, I'm not related to this. Like, there's not much I can do. I'm not like a political person with power. I'm not involved in anything related to it, right? Like, so if I'm going to follow it every day, it's just going to stress me out and make me worried, and I can't see how that helps. Right? Maybe I just went and got rid of a load of stone and now I need some more. If I had like a different job and it was in somehow related to that, then knowing about it would be relevant to me. And yeah, sometimes this is people's passions, right? Like some people want to be nurses and doctors, which is amazing. They want to help other people, and that puts them in the line of fire for, like, seeing terrible, awful things sometimes. But, you know, where I am, what I'm doing, it's just, I have nothing I can contribute, really. And so, constantly consuming, you know, information about what's going on there, it just seems to make me, like, anxious and upset. And again, it's like that. Not trying to put my head in the sand, I'm just trying to be cognizant of, like, what's my role here? I'm not really involved in this, and hearing about it every day isn't really doing much. And hey, that's just me, right? That's just me. You don't have to think about it the same way I do. That's just been my thing this year. I've over the years tried to, like, withdraw on this stuff. I think the better example, though, I think I've gone a little extreme this year. Like, this year I've really pulled away from world events, which I think you can argue it's good to know about. I think the better case for what I'm doing is where I started, which is with like the YouTube drama stuff, right? Like those videos of, oh, like so-and-so is outraged about something someone else said. And I used to consume a lot of that. I used to know about all the YouTube dramas, right? Like, these channels are beefing with that one, and yada yada, and this YouTuber's boxing that YouTuber. And then I just, like, got sick of it and started to pull away from it. I think I have a better argument about that type of media, and getting away from it. I'm going to dig out a bit more here. So we'll have like coal there again and that. I don't entirely know what I want to do with that space yet. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Yeah, let's not actually. Let's focus on the room behind us. There's still a little bit more work there to be done. So yeah, there's always these like internet beefs and outrages, and someone said this and people are angry about it, and I'm just done with it. I just don't want to know anymore. I despise YouTube/entertainment drama, and honestly, now it just gives me waves of anxieties if someone brings it up, says Spider Nom. Yeah, I have a little bit of a reaction like that. It's like, I know that thing has like a magnetism, and I'm like there's still that part of my monkey brain that's like, ooh, drama, and then I'm like, no, this stuff just makes you feel like uncomfortable. You know, like you start to feel bits of the anger and anxiety and whatnot. And it's like, wait a minute, this isn't me, this isn't anything to do with me. I have a similar view, X. Basically never watch the news. When something big or relevant happens, that news somehow reaches my ear, and if interested, I look it up further. There's an entire philosophy about the psychological benefits of not watching the news, as it's always very negative. There's Graph Man. Yeah. And do you know what I do? I do get news through a different kind of medium, which would be podcasts I listen to. They cover world events, but the ones that I choose to listen to are just like deep and thoughtful. They're not just trying to hit you with like simple. Oh! What happened here? This one that's 6 wide. No way. Is this 4? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. I love that. I'm going to keep it. Oh, do you know what? That's going to make trying to like... How did that happen? Dude, how did that happen? I'm never going to be able to unsee that now. Oh man. I had this idea of like carving in more details on these things. And now I've got a great reason not to, because it's going to like bring more attention to that. That's wild. That's wild. You don't notice it, and you build the rest of the room, and then it's like, uh-oh. Oh, I thought that was 4 for a second. That's 5 too. If I really wanted to fix that, I could shift everything over. But then this thing, you know, it's like all built one thing to the next. I'm just going to have to leave that. That being said, could we possibly shift this to our advantage? Ah, look at this. You see, if I shifted everything 1 block that way, then this could be 6 wide, but I actually want it to be 5 wide. Like, I deliberately wanted that to be... I'm going to leave it. Like, one thing I've become really tired of in this game is, like, neatness in your head and thinking it's a big deal. And like, oh no, it's off by 1 block. I must rebuild this whole thing. Hours go by. I want to move on to the next thing already, you know? Like, I want to keep expanding this and see where we go with it. A thought just crossed my mind that maybe from here we could build like an arc, and the sandstone area could be like more enclosed. So I need to spend some time doing creative stuff somewhere at some point. I think I'm good with that for today. I'm happy with that. Like, I may have not done a crazy amount, but I've got enough done to know like where I'm going next, which I think is important. So what we're gonna do is now head into the Nether and do some redstone building, which will be fun, right? You like a little bit of redstone building. Now, there's been noises in my ear. Oh, it's the one, the only. It's Logical Geek Boy for 12 months. Logic, so good to see you here. Hope all is well. I'm going to use your farms very soon. I'm going to do some villager stuff. That's kind of why I needed to get this room finished. So in my video, that's done, and I can kind of like move on to the next things, because I've been stuck on that for a few days. And yeah, I'm going to build some of Logic's farms again. I built them in the past, and I want to, yeah, just use them again here on this season. Get some villager farming stuff going. Mainly just to get XP bottles for the beginning, was what I was thinking. So, Chano Maru is here for 14 months. By the way, this is a great time for me to stand up. I feel like I need to stand up now. Blue Cat Pancakes, 1212. Thank you for 7 months. Oh my god, what is happening? Okay, sorry, having trouble with my desk. Brink, 85 for 11 months with that Amazon Prime. Pulse, 1147 for 55 months. And we got Angry K9 coming in with a sub bomb. Thank you so much for your generosity, my dude, and continued support over the years. Kubrickle, Langhoff, Der Arthur, This Is Mag, and Vampire Chicken. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. In the chickadee chat. Oh! Right, this cup of tea is disgusting and cold. I'm not drinking any more of that. And I got some water here. It's time to hydrate. More bricks, 77. Thank you for 47 months, almost 4 years. That's right. Thank you so much. Appreciate ya. Garbellery says, I think quite a lot of the issues come down to the media just needing to talk about the sensationalist issues to get their clicks and keep themselves going. So the drive for outlets bombarding their front page and headlines with the news that really inspires emotion rather than logical thought has been quite a negative side effect of pushing people away from the news that actually matters. Very well said, my friend. And it's actually, you know, it's something that's been happening for a long time. Something caught my attention a while back. There was this like quote from the early like 1900s, the 20th century, the beginning of it, if I'm getting that right. Hopefully I'm getting that right. You know, let's just say for simplicity's sake, around 110 years ago. And this person's like, the news is just negative. Like, stop reading newspapers. Focus on what's happening in your surrounding. You'll feel so much better for it. And it made me realise that this idea that things are getting worse, that always seems to perpetuate, tends to just sort of like, it's actually just the same stuff over and over again. Like the clickbait and the pressures that make these negative things sort of arise today have sort of always been there, just in different forms. You know? Anyway. I need to check on what I've got here. I need to craft a few things. But I have an interesting point about that to just come back to in a second. First of all, Randy Nicole gifting subs too. Thank you so much, my dude. Aragon 44444, Spinosaurus Waltz, Rob Deonte, AJ Stone, and Over the Rainbow Yo been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. And Randy, thank you for all you do, my dude. Appreciate it. My best mate's late mother had some advice I need. History is like a circle. Honestly, it really feels like that's true. History is like a circle. I don't know. I think maybe if something happens and it has a circular feel to it, that might be a good quote for that moment. But they say like history repeats itself, right? Well, it doesn't actually repeat itself identically, does it? That's kind of impossible. But we see similarities in the past of things happening in the present. And I think sometimes it's actually probably better to just articulate it that way, because it makes things so much clearer overall. Like it's clearer what you might be trying to get at when you say it like that. I'm just thinking through in my head what we need. Probably going to need some redstone torches. So anyway, I was listening to Kyle Hill's podcast this morning, and there's been a sort of discovery with the James Webb Telescope. They're looking like to the edge, furthest parts of the universe. I could be getting some of the details here wrong, please forgive me. And they're seeing stuff that doesn't quite make sense. They're seeing the formation of galaxies that are further along by like an astronomical amount, like twice as much as you might expect, or half. I'm getting it the wrong way around, you see. But anyway, they're looking out, they're making observations that don't quite fit the model of how we understand reality at the moment. And he makes this really good point. I really loved it. I was like, yep, you're on the point here. You're on the point. The point is that there will be sensationalized coverage of this, which is like, everything's changed. Oh, this new James Webb telescope changes everything. Our understanding of reality has, been broken. The thing is, this is actually what always happens with science. When you go back in time, like, all the things that Newton discovered about gravity and whatnot, like, later on when Einstein and other people advanced our understanding, it didn't actually, like, break those old models. It just allowed us to understand, or to get further along with, like, the precision of understanding the world. And so now that we have a very sensationalized media environment, when something like that happens, where we have our grand theory of how everything works, and then we discover something that means we need to update or change that, they kind of act like physics has been broken or whatever. And I think this lesson kind of extends to a lot of media coverage, right? That it gets treated this way. It's the point of science, says Phil Barbato. Yeah, it is, is to keep learning, keep understanding, and as a result of that, we will keep finding that the thing we previously knew needs to be adjusted. So yeah, but he was totally right. I'm totally waiting to see those, like, videos pop up on my feed. This changes everything. I can't stand, like, that kind of clickbait. There was a while back where, like, Tesla, anything Tesla did, right, would just be on some clickbaity video about how they've changed the game. This changes everything. And after you watch one or two, you're like, hang on a minute, like, you just make these videos all the time and like, barely anything's happened, and yet this packaging that they give you, ugh. Okay, so what we need to do here is, like, rebuild this structure a bit. We're going to get shulker boxes that come into here all packaged up. So I think what we'll do is, I think we'll do away with the bottom one. Oops. Keep it at this level. Do away with those two as well, and then all of this has got to change now also, because we're rebuilding this essentially. I could do with a little bit of stone actually. Let's go get some stone to place down there. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants, says Isaac. Says Coles. Well, quoting Isaac. I guess Isaac Newton did say it. God, butchered that sentence. Yeah, that's it. Did he actually say that? That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, so basically, though, you know what's going to happen? It's like, we've got these images that suggest our model of reality needs updating, which if you think about it, should be the result of further exploration. Like, the more we observe and explore and gather more data, that's going to happen at some point. If it didn't, it would be maybe get a little bit alarming. But yeah, it's just going to lead to, like, this sort of misinformation diet of sensationalizing that to act as if, physics is broken, and yeah, I'm sick of seeing stuff like that, because I've watched quite a few videos on YouTube where the bait is, this James Webb telescope discovery changes everything, and then you watch it and you're like, yeah, it doesn't actually. And it's a bit of a shame, because I've seen some really good science communicators, like, take this approach. It's like, the content of your video is great, like, why does it have to go on this, like, clickbait route? Huh, right, now, we got all of that stuff back. It's a bit laggy here, isn't it? Like, getting some frames dropping, I'm feeling. Will says, X, what podcast is this from? It's from Kyle Hill's podcast, his latest one on his channel. He's a really good science communicator. I like his content. And you might too if you go check it out. Okay. That's our new thing. Now I could put an item frame there, but it would have to have like the glow squid or the slime ball. But then I could also put one down here, right, and have that in this spot too. Okay, so now we need a space to like shimmy through our inventories. Plural, apparently. What do y'all think of the true crime podcasts and documentaries? I haven't listened to anyone. Any of those. True crime stuff. I mean, there's certain at certain points in time I've been interested in certain aspects of the history of crime and whatnot, but like as a thing to get into on a regular basis, it just doesn't quite interest me. Okay, next thing we need to do is probably pull up a schematic now. I can't remember to what extent I got this thing ready or what it's called. Maybe it begins with S for shulker box. Shulker sorter, shulker box filler, that sounds likely. Let's load that. Okay, so we need to see it in the world to begin. There it is. Not sure what's going on with it. Okay, let's step up here. There we go, that's much better. I love using the free cam in combo with this. Okay, so now it's a schematic placement. Alright. Alright, we're in the Nether, so selections are different. I think it needs to be rotated that way around. That looks proper. Okay, this is where I'd love like a hotkey just to move the camera in the background there. That's actually... No, that's incorrect. It's that way around. Uh-huh. Right, now let's get in there and have a look, because that is going to be that bit. And then the one next door will just point into that, I think. Let's go ahead and move it about. Uh-huh. Yeah, this means I need to get the items like all the way up to the top here now, because it's got a filter built on top of it. Which I'll admit is a bit yuck. Like, it's a bit bulky and bizarre, but it is what it is. We actually are now good to build this thing, funny enough. And build it twice, build it double. So, where we put one, we need to put another one right next door. Probably going to need some scaffolding around here, and I'm going to need my redstone box, aren't I? Going to need that redstone box. Self-assembled, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. That was 9 minutes ago. I was totally engrossed in setting up all this redstone that we're doing, so sorry for the delay there. Appreciate using that Amazon Prime on me, my dude. Peeps, if you did not know, you can use your Amazon Prime to subscribe. Prepare for trouble and make it double, says Judge J-Lo. Prepare for trouble. I mean, I'm not preparing for trouble, but, you know, we'll make it double. Wait, doesn't that sound like a Team Rocket thing? Oh man, I'm getting some Pokemon memories coming back. I've never been big into Pokemon, but at least fond of, like... Yeah, I enjoyed that when I was a kid. That was a bit of fun. I remember my nephew had like an episode of Pokemon on some time ago. And I was watching it with him, and it was just like... Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember these little adventures and whatnot. Right, looks like we're going to need some slabby jabs. I think I'm just going to use wood. Although, actually, if a ghast hits that thing, it's just going to like, ugh. Anyways, right? So, might as well... Did I not get a crafting bench out? Might as well do it like this. Slabby jabs, we got them. Definitely need to put one right there. Kind of want to enclose this a little bit, so we would have that going on. And then again on that side, which stops me from getting in there, kind of. I can... Yeah, just wiggle through that gap. Yes, it's Team Rocket, chat is telling me. Yeah. Well, there you go. I remembered that. Yeah, that kind of hit me a little bit. I was like, that sounds suspicious. Okay, beautiful little bit of redstone going on here, right? The events for filling up the shulker box is this signal here changing. So side by side, it's always going to be 14, and this is always going to be 15, right? So the comparator can never like leak over into the next installment. So when it fills up the shulker box behind it, that goes to full. And then when it's completely empty, this overrides it to 14. So it's only ever got two states, and they can be side by side without messing up or anything. It's super cool. Super cool little bit of logic to sort of be implemented in a circuit here. That is not the block that I was holding. There we go. Okay, so then you need your shulker box. What we've got below it, a dispenser. Got to have two of those. Yes, please. 1, 2. A couple of those as well. What happened there? Felt right given the amount of TCG going on around the server, says Judge JLo. It was right. It did feel right, didn't it? Need a wood equivalent of the stonecutter, says Spider Nom. Maybe, although this game is kind of getting like a lot of blocks in it all the time. Oh my word. Okay, another problem with the scaffolding. When you want to hold shift, it becomes a pain in the bum. Got to break all this down. Now I'm not in the right spot. Still not setting up right. You know, you have to think. That's the problem. Like, I get that there's a way and like an order to things, but like, if you have to think too much in a game, sometimes it's not all that great. That's actually, I think that's a dropper there. So I do actually need 2 more droppers. What we'll do is use this. It's actually not in the right spot. Again, the way you have to place the blocks. I do feel like, does this game need a little bit of work on block placement, like to make things easier? Like all this finagling all the time. There's surely a better way of doing this. Again, like I think having a block rotator makes so much sense because I just have to do too much of this all the time, it feels like. Sort of faffing around to get a block in the right direction. Oh, losing some frames. Okay, now we will need these here on a temporary basis so that we can put some hoppers facing down into them, right? Okay, and that will now be ready to have a shulker box deployed. Ah, and again, that sticky piston's going to be awkward to place, isn't it? Let's see if we can get one up on this. Some hoppers. Hibbity hoobity hopper. And then we've got to build an item filter up here, yeah. Can I now put in this if I crouch down low enough? Oh, just about. Then we'll need another chest. So, 2 more chests. Oh, another observer. And then the dropper here can actually just face upwards if we want it to. Oh, is that correct? It is. It is actually. Yeah, of course it is. Right, more chests, more power. Something like the debug stick before survival, says Fighting 99. I would say yes, but as I have probably already said earlier in the stream, adding extra items as a solution isn't always great because you just have more stuff to juggle. So I'd argue that like a consistency across the board for all types of block placing is important. That might require the player to have to like relearn some things. That could be one way of doing it. I'm not sure what the other ways would be. But if you, like, rather than introduce a new tool, is there something already in the game that can, like, help us with this? That's what I'd go for. Ah, we need a repeater. Oh look, we got this stuff in the way now. Please don't have lava hidden that's gonna pour out on all my redstone. That's what I'm asking for. Just please none of that. Right, we're gonna need torches. We're gonna 2 repeaters is all I got left. I think we're gonna have to make some more, peeps. Okay. Yeah, maybe not that many. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. Oh, I already left them in there. Do you think we'll ever have new ores in the game, says Frost 1EE? Well, we got some new ores just a couple of updates back, didn't we? Like a whole bunch of new ones, so... Yeah, I think at some point or another they might revisit that idea. I think copper still needs a few uses in this game. Copper feels a little too specific at the moment. It'd be nice if it had more of a role generally. Dang it. I'm not sure if it's like the frames and just things being a bit choppy, but I just have trouble like moving around a little bit at the moment. Okay, so that goes there, very nice. Then we put things above it. See what I mean? Like, that to me felt like, I don't know, sluggish movement or something. I guess it's hard to tell if you're watching because, like, you don't get to like feel the inputs that I'm having into the keyboard and mouse. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it just feels like this like sluggishness with the frames, and then you fall off. Let's go ahead and do that. That didn't really take too long to put together now, did it? Uh-huh. And then you got to set up the item filter, of course. And here's another scaffolding issue. So you have to put one there, drop down to place that. Otherwise you'd be... There it is again! There it is again, just... weirdness. Okay. How are we going to do this? Like, this is perfectly in line with that. I honestly think... we'll just have it turn the corner up here. So, in theory, the only extra thing that's going to come through is gold nuggets and rotted flesh. And I'll leave it for a while, and then we'll build like an item destroyer or something there. So, that can probably just start across here like that, right? So now the thing is, those items need to come up even higher, the ones that came through the sand, and we need a proper way of putting them into this bit, which someone sent me an image of it, and I was kind of like, that's good, but I've already done this now. But now that I'm back here modifying it, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have paid more attention to that, because now I can use the little technique that they showed me. But I've got a feeling I can build it from memory, because it wasn't actually that complicated. So we're going to give this thing a try, I think. I mean, the brush tool should be able to tickle pandas' noses to make them sneeze for slime balls. That's a great idea. I love that. That's so quirky and odd. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good suggestion. Is the choppy movement maybe a result of the speed effect from the beacon? Oh no, it's just when I look in that direction, things get choppy, right? So then like the performance of the game kind of interacts with your controls a little bit, etc., etc. I think the idea, I could get this wrong. I think the idea was that you have a stair block right there. Oops. And that it somehow pushes the items out into the hoppers. I don't have a stair block to my name, so I need to go grab one. And you know what? It can be any type of stair block, can't it? That is an amazing idea, gives more use to both the panda and the brush. Yeah, I don't know if it's the sort of idea Moyang would go for, but I like it. Got my seal of approval. Ah, I don't think I need any more composters, so look at that. The idea is that the items will come up and push it into there. Let's get the camera account on. The camera account is going to help us test and verify. Something we need to do. Do you think you can make another video on ender chest storage like you made 5 years ago? Because we've got a lot of loot things now and it's difficult to order things. I think if I were to make a video like that, it would need to be different in some capacity. And I don't have the inspiration and time for that stuff these days. I've kind of had to accept that. There's always more I'd like to do, but I've been unable to, really. And I'm quite happy at the moment just doing a little less. So I've learned to do a little less and focus a bit more on myself and other things that are important to me. Because YouTube's a beast. There's always, you know, you could always make another video, right? And the question is more like, well, do you have to? Should you? And so after many years on this platform, I realise we're on Twitch right now. You know what I mean. Many years of being a content creator, I just don't feel like I have to be in a race anymore. There's certain things that I want to commit to, like Hermitcraft and making my update videos. But I'm just not in a race to get anywhere with this stuff anymore, it feels like. Whereas for a long time it was, you know, I was trying to make the best videos and grow and all this kind of stuff, and you can only do that for so long. Right, I need one more of those. Need to get my camera account logged in here. This is going to hurt the frames even more, peeps. So as far as packing all of this away, we've got that to do. Bear in mind I might need to come back here and make a modification at some point. Oh, I need a couple of empty shulker boxes before we really get going. And I need to fill up the item filters, that's very important. Okay, so I actually do have a few things to do. Have you been playing much music recently? I really liked your guitar cover a while back. I've not. I went for a little bit of playing guitar and then I stopped again. I don't know, I've been quite content just not. Then again, I've got other musical stuff happening at the moment, which probably just sort of like fills that gap. If I weren't doing that, I'd probably be playing a little bit here and there. But there'll be some musical stuff happening later in the year for sure. Right, let's put these things away. So, we want to make an item filter. Usually I make them with iron bars. There you go, I made too many. Filter! The question is always, like, how many of these am I supposed to use in the impulse item filter? I think it's actually one of each, if I remember correctly. So then the things that we're going to filter will be slime balls and glow squid ink. Okay. So I need to go back through and do that first. Right. Now my camera account is not where... Well, I need to get... excuse me! I'm trying to head up. That's one little problem with this. You need to actually jump out when you're at the top. Otherwise it will take you back down again. Where can I see your music and guitars, says Neptune. Great question! You can go to linktree.xisuma.co. Okay? As the name says, it's a link tree, but it's a nice, pretty visual one, where you can see all the little icons for my channels, and then you can see the little icons for community projects and things you might be interested in, like fan art. There's a link to the TCG on there now, I believe. And you can find pictures of my guitars on there. You can find my guitar cover videos, and you can find a little section dedicated to my music where you can listen to it on YouTube or Spotify or Bandcamp. So you got options. But thanks for asking, peeps. You know, bookmark it as well. My plan is to expand what's on there over time and make it more and more useful and like a little hub for finding things related to me. So I can just be like, hey, it's on Linktree. Okay, this bit right here is the filter. And I'm pretty sure the way that you do it is like that. So a few things will filter out straight away. Oh, do you know what? I forgot the shulker boxes. I don't need a crazy amount, but we'll We'll get some. I think I want the slimes more than the other stuff as well. Salamis says, don't forget the chocolate. Oh, I wish I had read that question a minute ago. Your guitars are really awesome. How long did it take you to collect them all? Well, I had one guitar. Like, it wasn't my first guitar, it was my second one for a very, very long time. And then when I got back into guitars, I brought the blue one, the blue Ibanez, and yeah, played with that one quite a bit. And then I just started buying a few others because I'd saved up, and I could treat myself a little bit. I got another 7-string, I got an 8-string, and then I got the Universe, which was like my dream guitar. And then after that, I kind of stopped. So I thought, actually, I've got like enough guitars here. I leave them in different tunings. I can play lots. And every now and then I go and look at guitars and think about getting another one. But I'm like, you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna buy a guitar and start playing again. It's not how it works. Like, if I get mad into guitar again, maybe I'll treat myself at some point. But so yeah, basically, was it 2018 when I just started playing again and really getting into it? That was when scaffold. That was when I got my guitars, like, over a period of time. I wasn't keeping track or anything, but yeah. Okay, so now, I mean, I can fill these all the way back up here. I don't really need to for this setup, but maybe for different resources, ones that are more important to me, I could do that. So I need to teleport my camera account, which has actually been here the whole time. Well, it hasn't been here, it's been logged in, let's say. Need to teleport it and have it look at what we just built. So, if I do some magic... Oh, by the way, we got Free Kill TM here for 20 months. Thank you so much for the subscription, my dude. Appreciate you. I missed that noise in the ear 2 minutes ago. Okay, I need to go into this folder. And I need to click that button. Okay, do we get it on the screen? Do I need to wiggle it about a little bit first? Is there a big stream delay? Can't tell. We've got a big stream delay. Look, I'm looking over here now. Okay, we've got a big stream delay. That's why I can't see stuff. Brilliant. Brilliant. Right, we might not need to go back there again, in which case I will fix this for now. We're going to go stand in the AFK spot, peeps. Shall I? No, I've got my ender chest. I'm good, I'm good. Sounds like me and bikes. Always need one more, says NFS Crips. I mean, the thing is, if it's like your hobby and you're into it and you do it a lot, like, go for it. But, I love looking at guitars. I know the pleasure and joys they bring, but I'm just not playing enough. I don't think it justifies it. Maybe getting a bass guitar, though, at some point. I don't know. I always plan at some point for getting back into the music, right? I just don't know when that's going to be. What's that clicking, says James20Mon. I don't know what that clicking is. It might be something on your end, because I ain't got any clicking over here. Right, we're down in the underwater area. We're about to go AFK. If you don't get a guitar, get a new amp. My amp is very old, and it's not very big. Honestly, it'd be a good idea. There's all sorts of equipment I'd like to buy. Effects pedals and stuff, but my thing is just like, at this point, it's novel. It's not a part of what I'm like working towards or doing, so therefore I'm going to think about it in that way. Right, so now that this is here, oh, do you know what? We can also like look down there too and see the items get spat across. But we need some allays to pick these up first in our beautiful, beautiful farm. Can use a little bit of free cam. If you haven't seen my recent episodes, what we've done is we've hooked up some allays with glow squids. Aha! Aha! Right, okay. That guy was just dropping off a whole bunch. Now we've got to look... Oh wait, which side is it? It's that side. Aha. Zoom. Maybe just use the free cam again, right? We need to see the items go through. I saw the slime block push, but no items were there. Here they are. They've arrived. Oh, you can't actually see it. It's being covered. I've just realised. Let's do it like that. Can you see it now? Oh, they went through. They went through. Now, on this camera, that means we should see some squiddy stuff coming our way. Squiddy stuff, I see you. You're rising towards me. Very good. We want to see what happens to it at this level. I think that's going to be the best view for us. Maybe adjust it so we can see it pop up. Uh-huh. Oh! Interesting. I'm now kind of thinking that the original problem we had is that things got caught around this hopper here. Is that going to happen again? Or is it doing then those ones like hopped up? I'm not sure if that actually fixes it or not. I've got a weird feeling that stair block might need to be 1 block lower. I think it would make more sense if the stair block was 1 block lower. We'll soon find out, right? Will this thing reject any of the items at some point? Do you ever get tired of hearing the Minecraft music? I hear it in your snapshot videos all the time. You do? That's weird, because I don't put them in my snapshot videos. Maybe you have Minecraft on in the background. Axeric, thank you ever so much for using the Amazon Prime subscription on me, my dude. 3 months right there, thank you for using that. Maybe this wasn't what I was originally sent, but also just happens to work. I will keep a close eye on it, though. And we can keep an eye on it together for a minute here. Oh, look, one just popped out. Did you see it? It fell down. It totally fell down there. So, there is definitely something quirky with this. I wonder if I can find that post again that was shared with me. If you are that person, if you're watching and I think someone tweeted it at me. Tweet it at me again. It's probably too long ago. I kind of dismissed it because I had a different solution. But now I'm like, actually, I want to try that. It fell down the drain, says the Great Rover. It fell down the drain. Yeah, peeps, if you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to hit the follow button. I'm gonna wrap today's one up early because the next thing I'd want to do would be like a crazy big project, and now I need to keep my eye on this. So it actually feels like a good spot to pause for today. And I was running a little bit late. I've got to go do some exercise and some cooking. You know, I'm always on it, so that's the rest of my day. Oh well, and then recording in the evening. You know. What I'll do right now is I'll find a channel for us to raid. So a big thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate all your support here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma. Big thank you to all the peeps gifting subs, the mods, the Patreons, all the people making this a wonderful community. And we've got some noises coming in from Rainbow Crow with the Prime and Senseless Escape 7 with the Prime as well. Thank you so much. It's been stream 100, hasn't it? I hope you enjoyed it. Crazy little milestone to reach. I will now do a thing. The raid. That's what I'm trying to do. God. So many things on my screen. I'm going to send you over to Music Man today. I feel like we haven't listened to Music Man's music in a while, so we'll probably do that in a future stream. I've been reminded. Anyway, that's where I'm sending you today, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you everyone for tuning in. See you soon. Take care.